Alright guys, another short video today, me and my Lawson, you know what I'm saying? But basically here to talk about the beauty of everyday life struggles. So that being basically the grind, if you know what I mean. If you're like trying to work on yourself and trying to better yourself, you probably understand what I'm trying to say with that one. Like for example, dealing with lust, dealing with insecurity about am I gonna make make it in the sense of like make it to the place I wanna go, become who I wanna become, meet the people I wanna meet, make the money I wanna make, so on and so forth, and just everyday struggles in general if you're working a 9 to 5, dealing with annoying people, having to go to work, wake up at a certain time, stuff like that. So let's get into it. Um, yeah, there's a beauty inside of all that because it builds character. I would say that it's the most important thing and trait to any human being is your character, and your character being the way you think, the way you like perceive situations and people, the way like you would react to a situation. And yeah, basically just be proud of the fact that you've got struggles going on. 'Cause it means you're progressing. If your life's all comfortable, sorry about that burp. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it's basically be proud of the fact that you're going through struggle. A lot of people like, including myself in the past, you're kind of just sitting there like, ah, this is bothering me, that's bothering me. I'm having this struggle, I'm having that struggle. But the fact you are struggling means you're trying. It means you're trying to progress. It means you're trying to get through the day and make something out of it. Make something out of yourself. Oh, sorry for all the burping. Red Bull tends to do that to me. Oh, but sorry. But yeah, like I'm losing train of thought a little bit here. Not gonna lie to you. But long story short, just don't stress so much. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got struggles going on, and that's okay because you're progressing. You're gonna make something out of yourself, and the struggles are worth it. If definitely if you're looking at it in that light or you're sitting and reflecting on it. So if anyone watches anime, you would see that I put a Berserker background on for that exact reason. Like, it's a good anime. I'd recommend anyone watching it if you want to try and like watch something that might inspire you to behave a little different, see different in a different see life in a different light. Ooh, can't speak. But yeah, like I'll use him as an example. So like, you got your boy Berserk, yeah, he's got a certain name, like character name. I can't actually remember it, but long story short, he goes through life. He's living in the medieval times. Has no family. His upbringing is, let's just say, dark. And he doesn't really have much of a purpose to live. All he's doing is fighting for the sake of fighting to eat food. Kind of just going through life like everybody else is living life in the sense of ain't really got a purpose, doing things for the sake of doing things, not thinking much about it, and just calling it a day. But then he slowly progresses from that because he met someone and encountered a struggle. He took a loss, so he basically was always winning these fights to go into like a 1v30 and absolutely demolish a cheeks, same shit, and basically just not really have like he would have struggle, but it's a comfortable level of struggle. But then he meets like a character, a certain group of characters really that test him, just manages to beat them, and then the leader will come in from that group and put the guy in his place, and that is basically a representation of you're going at life, you're doing things in life, you're trying, but not all that much. You're just doing the bare minimum of trying, beating the things you got to beat, and then boom, sign card hits you, a struggle hits you, and that causes you to reevaluate your situation. And that's kind of what I'm trying to talk about is reevaluating your situation, letting the struggle change you for the better, and create almost like an arc. So say if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're struggling with the people around it and all that shit, you can view that as your like growth arc. This is the time in your life where you're working, but still need to put enough energy in your life where you're working out, progressing your mental, progressing your financial because you're working the 9 to 5. Figure out other routes so you don't have to work the 9 to 5. That type of theme, if you see where I'm going with it. So I highly suggest doing things to better yourself, like gratitude journaling, just like research things to try and help you. So if you're struggling with a certain aspect in your life, like lust, something like that, find the answers. Do you know what I mean? Instead of going, oh, life's hard. Oh, can't be asked for this. Oh, can't be asked for that. Just try, man. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you're drained, you not trying ain't gonna make it any easier. It's just gonna make it harder. And you're not gonna have any growth from it and any sort of reward for the struggle. That's kind of like a lot of what I think about and the way I think about things tie back into religion. So I apologize if you're not religious, because you know, I mean, it is a bit. As someone who wasn't Christian before, when I heard other people talk about Christianity in that point of view and the way they believed in things, it was like, oh, come on, you talk about this again. But to get into that, it is very true. Like, Christianity is facts. Like, I'm just telling you how it is. If you've got any sort of intelligence, you can realize it's true. I'm not going to get into the whole debate, but I'll just name a couple points to get you interested, maybe. So, science came from Christianity. People tried debating it, but if you actually go and research it, the original scientists that brought science to the Western civilization were originally Christian, believed in Christian morals and like values, and were Christian themselves, which then led them to try and figure out science and try and push human understanding a little bit further. We've got the laws. So if you look at Muslim laws, I'm not dissing any Muslims out there, I have a lot of Muslim mates, but, well, used to, don't have many mates anymore, but anyway. Oh, sorry, I'm stretching. So if you look at Muslim laws and the way they are, that is like, not majority, I'd say majority of the reason why a lot of people are migrating from that country to Western civilizations like America, UK, Poland, Sweden, stuff like that. Because of the laws and values we hold, and the laws and values we hold came from the Bible. People could try debating it, but everything moral came from the fucking Bible. Like, you think as human beings, which are we're a version of an animal by atheist standard, why would we have morals? So if like, you could argue evolution, but evolution don't mean you have morals. If you look at chimps and monkeys and so on and so forth, they're starting to evolve to the point they're using tools now, simple tools. They still ain't moral. They're going around ripping other monkeys to shreds alive, like eating a monkey instead of just killing it off, like say for example a human would, to end the suffering, just to be able to use it as food. You know what I mean? Because there's a purpose for it. Like a chimpanzee will go up to a spider monkey and rip it apart while it's alive, and they do it often, and I mean like 4 or 5 times a day type shit. Like it's crazy. So my point being is, like, the principles and morals and the values of Christianity are the backbone of civilization, yet people try to argue that is not where it originated from, even though there weren't Western civilizations that upholded these values before Christianity was a thing, which is ironic. But anyway, there's loads of shit. I don't want to get into a whole Christian debate because that's not what the video's about, but I am very passionate about it because it's very true. And I really, really stress the fact for you to just open your eyes to the possibility of it being true. Don't just go, nah, it's not true. Why is it not true? I don't know. Sky Daddy ain't real. No. Like, just coming up with excuses. Like, genuinely look at it in a new light and try to see if it is real. Look for things to prove it wrong, and look for things to prove it right, and evaluate the situation for what it is. Because that's what I did, and that's how I ended up being Christian. Before, I was smoking weed, but going out doing drugs, selling drugs, fucking fighting people for the sake of fighting people, fucking every single girl I can get my hands on, cheating on them, having multiple girlfriends at once, fucking loads of shit was wrong with me. Yet I knew it was empty. Like, I'm only 21, and I came to the realization earlier than other people that this life is empty. Behaving in that manner is empty. So if these things are empty, why would they be empty in the first place if that's not our purpose by culture standards with the whole how this generation is now and how they like try treating life? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of a thinker what I'm talking about, but I really do hope someone, at least one person, gains the enlightenment to go, do you know what? It's got some valid points, let me go and check it out. Because it'll change your life. Yeah, cool, it's a bit scary and hard to understand, because I struggle with that sometimes, but the more I progress in looking at it, the more I realise how God has had influence over my life. Oh, influence in my life before I was even Christian. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just mad. I'm gonna change topics back to the original, but life struggles create character. Character creates progression. Progression creates happy, positive feelings. Happy, positive feelings create. Well, it's just a chain effect. You get the point. Do you know what I mean? It's a big chain effect. So don't be so trapped in the negative. Don't let it eat you. Don't let it make or break you, because you'll get through it, man. No matter what you're going through, trust me, I've gone through a lot. Like, druggy family members, mum being schizophrenic, alcoholic, sister raising me. Like, do you know what I mean? I went through it all. Yet they've got through the struggle and changed. So have I, and my life's got better since then. Cool. I was in a state because of it for a while, but that's because I didn't take my own advice back then. I was just all in my feelings. So I'm gonna go do this. I feel like doing it. Being very impulsive, basically, and not thinking logically, and not like accepting the struggle and accepting reality for what it is. So I highly urge the fact to do that. But anyway, that's pretty much the video. A little bit of a waffle sesh. I love you lot, man. I truly hope you think about what I've said. Not just a Christianity thing, but dealing with struggles. And I wish you all the best, man. Look after yourselves.